Kimberley, can you tell us a little bit about Born Evil?
Born Evil, I set on a Gascoigne estate in Barking, which wasn't far from where I went to school and that. I went to school in Dagenham. I've always been a fan years ago of anything, something like The Omen perhaps, but I'm not really into that sci-fi sort of side of things, but I love the idea of the evil child, but obviously without the magic powers. I decided to do something similar, but obviously more reality fiction, where the child was literally born evil and grew up. It was all to do with the father. It was in the genes from the start. And he grew up to be sort of evil, and then the book goes on to when he's 15, and he's even more evil then. He doesn't change. And it's really all based around him, I should say. But it starts off, it's set in Rainham. It's about a girl called Debbie that... She, how can we put it? She meets a wrong 'un in a pub, and her parents don't like him from the start, and she ignores their advice, and she ends up sort of going to live on the Gascoigne estate with him, and she's pregnant at the time, and she gives birth to this child, and this is Charlie, who is the child that's born evil, and it goes on to be about a life that with the geezer she's with, and also like the child, she can see no wrong in him from the start, and she just goes on to support him all through what he does, and in the end, well, I don't want to give the book away, but in the end it, it sort of shows his true colours, and she sort of realises in the end that he was born evil.
How many of your characters are drawn from real life?
I haven't led a sheltered life, but I haven't really based them on anyone either, do you know what I mean? I just... I'm quite a perceptive person. I don't know, I suppose there's bits of people in some of my characters in like all my books, but there's not really. I love building characters, I love working with characters, and I like making characters into a real big sort of thing, and I think I'm getting sort of better and better at doing this, so hopefully that will continue.
I mean, when you were growing up, what did you read and who were your influences?
To be honest, when I was a kid, I was Enid Blyton mad. Absolutely loved Enid Blyton. Read the books over and over and over again. I was really into books when I was a kid. But I think you get to a certain age, get interested in boys and whatever, and you're out doing stuff, and you sort of stop reading. And I think I went on a foreign holiday or something about 1920. I think I bought a Jackie Collins book, and that was the first thing that got me back into reading at a later sort of age. From then, Martina Cole, obviously, she was a good influence. I read all of her. I've read most of her stuff, to be honest. I haven't particularly read the last few because I don't really get the time now. But all of her early stuff, loved it, because she was sort of someone that came out, and she's probably sort of opened doors for people like myself. Do you know what I mean? Who else? I like Leslie Pierce. Most of her books, I think she's very good. Who else can I say? I don't really read that much, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I suppose I should be checking out the same people that are around me at the moment, but I haven't really had the time to do that either. Never really been into male writers. I've always tended to go for women writers. Like Kevin Lewis, though. He's had a couple of books out, and I've quite liked his stuff. Who else do I like? The odd autobiography of anyone I'm interested in. That's it, really. I'm not a massive reader now. I don't really get the time.
So you say you don't get the time, so you must be...
I'm writing all the time.
Writing all the time. What's the writing process for you?
I've got another book coming out in November called Sweet Baby James. That's terrific. It's set on my writing's... The thing is, what I don't think people realise, a lot of people take years to sort of write and make a name for themselves, or just even get into that world. I'd never written a line before Billy Joe. Never written a page, nothing, since I left school, and I didn't do a lot when I was there, to be perfectly honest. So I just had a go one day. I was sick of my life, had a go. And it just sort of came. I think I struggled a little bit with the first 3 chapters. The rest of it came naturally. At the end, I rewrote the first 3 chapters, because that's what you had to send off to get sort of an agent or something, And I was very lucky to crack it first time, But Born Evil was easier for me to write. It took less time. And then when I gave up my job, obviously, which was only last June, I was still minicab driving before last June, so it's it's all quite new to me. But I wrote Sweet Baby James, I think, in about 14 weeks, and it's set in a council estate in Stepney on the Ocean Estate. It's very rough and ready. It's about it starts off with a murder, and it's about a woman's son going in prison, and it's It's a very good book. I've got better and better as I've gone along because I've never had time to improve, if you know what I mean. So Billy Joe was just the first, Born Evil the second, and every book seems to have got better. And I've just on my last chapter tomorrow of The Feud, which comes out in February, and that's a terrific book. I'm going to do a sequel to it. So it's about a Canning Town gangland family, and it's about a feud with a travelling family. And the feud goes on all the way through the book, and it's the O'Haras and the Mitchells, you know, and it's proper.
Even now you've described a lot of things very visual. Could you see one day one of your books being adapted?
This last one.
Yep.
The Feud.
Why is that?
It's just got everything.
And what about I guess whether you like it or not, you know, a lot of young women or women probably see you as a role model. What's your advice to women who, in their 20s,
Well, never give up. I mean, you know, I had market stalls for years. I did very well on them when I was younger. I was swanning around in an XJS at 17 and that. But then my life went downhill after that. The markets went down. The recession hit in the 80s. The markets everything went downhill. And then I left there. I was DJing, which was good, but I never really earned a lot of money out of it. I just sort of spent my whole life drinking through my 20s, and as you do, everybody. And just sort of laying in bed all day and going out partying all night, which was good, you know. So it's something that no one can ever take it away from you. But and then I ended up. My mum kept on at me. I lost my mum last year, but she kept on at me to get a normal job, and that she can't carry on like that, Kim, you know. So I did. A mate of mine was minicab driving at the time, and she was working over in Romford, and she said to me, "Oh, it ain't bad money and that." So I gave it a go, but then you get stuck in a rut, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, the money was all right. I was working nights all the way through the night through Romford, like, you know, Romford town centre and that. I was doing sort of Friday, Saturday, Sunday night and all that, so the money was all right, but it was just, I always knew I had a brain, do you know what I mean? But I just never used it, so.